Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking another look here, of course, at Cardano. I get a lot of requests for this, so we figure why not go ahead and keep a consistent eye on this. It's a pretty big community, of course, so thanks again for watching. And if you are new to the channel, just know I'm not a financial advisor. I love teaching people to trade. You want to become a better trader, CryptoCash.tech is the site of a trading academy, community, and signal group. So taking a look here at ADA. Really simple, straightforward stuff here, but we are seeing an ascending type of trend here. Of course, higher highs and higher lows on the daily, but of course it's a different story altogether because this most recent high wasn't as high as this previous one. So we're going to take a quick look at Elliot wave and just kind of see what that tells us on the 4-hour time frame, because it's probably going to be an ABCD pattern, and it's probably going to project the price action to be a little bit lower here. Okay, and the main reason why is just because it's needing to correct itself. It had a very significant upbringing, and it would make more sense for the price to hit a lower low before it hits a higher high. Okay, again, I'll explain more about that here in a minute. Let's take a quick peek at just kind of standard stuff. We're above 50 on the RSI. That's typically a bullish indication. We have a little bit of conflicting information here with the MACD is diverging. It's soon to diverge here. No guarantees it's going to. There are times where it can bounce. But simply put, it is moving on its way down, and that's just the way that we have to acknowledge. It is absolutely something that could happen. In other words, a divergence is on the horizon here. Makes sense with Bitcoin likely correcting itself as well. Took a look at Bitcoin earlier today, and I can tell you it's definitely looking a bit on the bearish side right now. It should correct itself here, and if it does, Cardano will follow suit. Okay, even though Cardano is a little bit separate in nature as far as its charts, it is definitely something to look at and pay attention to. We are above all three moving averages, so keep in mind if there were to be a correction, it would make sense for the price to either pivot or bounce off of 0.3, basically 36.7 cents or 35.3 cents, the 0.382, 0.5, and of course 0.618. Those are all very common retracement levels for Fibonacci. So at this point, we can expect a little bit further downside based on the daily data here. Looking at the 4-hour, we're seeing parallel lows and lower highs. Okay, really that just implies that we have a descending type of pattern here, and likelihood of a breakdown would make more sense considering the overall state of the market. Keep in mind, those patterns are not 100%, but they're fairly consistent, especially when you're trading under 50 on the RSI and you have a convergence on the MACD potentially on the horizon. So again, the 4-hour is fairly conflicting information based on the overall sense of things, because it does show us that even though we are making lower highs and essentially parallel lows, it does tell us that we have potential for a bounce here with the MACD. However, you got to keep in mind too that that doesn't mean anything if the larger time frames are telling us a different story. So let's take a quick look at the Elliot wave here and see. This is kind of what I kind of presumed here. We can see, of course, the price action coming all the way down to this ABC pattern, and typically D would be some type of lower high. Okay, so a bouncing point that low at about 2.8 cents may not occur, but if Bitcoin corrects itself down to 25, somewhere in that range, 25,000 or lower, then I would think that's a firm reality. Okay, so again, I wouldn't read too far into that. That does Elliot wave is not 100% by any stretch, but it does give us an indication of how low it could go if it were to correct itself based on the overall larger time frames there. Okay, last thing we want to take a peek at here is on the hourly. Just taking a look at TD sequential, we can see there's we came down to a 9 and bounce. That's pretty standard. We're up to an 8, so it makes sense for the price to pull back down and to come down to about 36.7, at least in that range, pretty close to it. I'm speculating we're going to see a correction at that point. Taking a look at the Ichimoku cloud, same thing as well here. Conversion lines below the baseline, basically intersecting. Lagging spans not free and clear of the price action. We're underneath the cloud. All three of those things are fairly bearish signs. It's not a sign to go short, but it's definitely the opposite for a long position. You do not want to take a long position right now going into what we see here so far. So to me, we don't have a tremendous amount of confirmation here as well. Taking a look at the 1 hour with my CC Golden indicator, you can see there was somewhat of a sell signal here, but that's corrected itself already. So that's conflicting information. Again, when there's market data like this, we're not going to get a firm amount of understanding of that fact that we're on the right side of tracks, right? So if we take a look at this here, key level is that we're underneath these moving averages, and it makes a lot more sense to be, under that CC Golden cloud. It really just implies you do not want to take a trade. You want to make sure you confirm above that at the very least for no less than 2 green candlesticks. And those are things I teach, of course, in my trading academy and obviously through my website here. So if you do want to become a better trader, keep in mind, if you get registered here, you do have access to our private Discord, Trading University, and of course, a handful of other features as well. But the bottom line is that, it's working out favorably. And if you want to use that indicator, that is up for sale as well on the homepage too. So long story short here with ADA, it's really straightforward, but you just really want to kind of be patient and allow for the price action to come down a little bit further, in my opinion, because I don't think we're going to see much of a bounce here at this level. We've already lost that 0.236 level, and I think 0.382 makes a lot more sense. So I would say 36.7 is a very realistic bouncing point here for Cardano. All right, we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks again for your time. Take care.